Hi and welcome to this DCP web tutorial. In today's tutorial I'm going to be giving you a quick tutorial on Open Office Autosum Function. So if you're not familiar with Open Office, very similar to Microsoft Excel, and if you want to learn more about Open Office you can visit my YouTube page, and if you scroll down on my YouTube videos you'll see I did this tutorial on Open Office Calc spreadsheet. It's about half an hour long but it's quite in depth. And you may want to go and check that tutorial out. It's had a lot of views and seems to be quite a good tutorial, so check that one out if you want to learn more in depth about Open Office. I've done loads of other tutorials here, you can see them all. I'll put a link to my page in the YouTube description for this video. So let's move on to Open Office. I'm going to open up Open Office Calc, and this is just like Microsoft Excel, very similar spreadsheet application. I'm going to quickly save my document. That's the first thing I should do. So I'm just going to go File, Save, and I've already got a document in here called Autosum Function, and you should put a real file name into here when you go to save your document. So I'm just going to overwrite this one. In this example we're going to use the Autosum function, and you may need to go to View and Formula Toolbar. If you do that, Formula Toolbar, you're going to see these options here, so you need to have that activated to do this or to follow this tutorial. So in this first column I'm going to put in months, and in here I'm going to put in staff wages as an example, and in here I'm going to put in fuel cost. And this all makes sense as we're going along. And in here I'm going to put telephone costs, and we may have some other costs associated to our business, so maybe we'll put in here some sort of internet related cost, maybe your internet access or your hosting or something like this. We've just got 4 examples, and you may have many more going across the top here. These are just titles. So we want to get the months into here. So I'm just going to save this. First thing I'll do is just click on this number 1 here. Let's zoom in a little bit. I'll click on this number 1 right here. I'm just going to make everything bold across the top. These will be our titles. And in months I'm going to type in here Jan. And then I'm going to click on this little box in the bottom right hand corner here, and I'm going to drag down to number 13, which will give me all of the months. Is called series filling, so I didn't have to type them all in, it quickly filled them out for me. And I'm going to highlight B, C, D and E using my left mouse button, and I'm going to right click, and in fact I will do F as well. So I'm going to highlight all of these. I'm going to right click and I'm going to say format cell, and I'm going to set it to currency value. And click OK. So these will all be currency fields now. And in here I'm going to write total cost. This will be our grand total as for our auto sum. So here's staff wages. We'll just put some figures in here, what we might have paid to our staff during this period. We could say maybe the wages were pretty consistent, and then you took on maybe another member of staff. So there's some figures in here. Fuel cost. So I'm trying to make this a bit random, not exactly the same figures for every field. We'll just fill in some test data here. Telephone cost. We'll just fill in some figures here. And internet. We can just say this is pretty consistent throughout the whole for every month of the year. So autofilters allow us to quickly add up all of these figures to give us grand totals. So let's say for example we wanted to work out how much did we spend on staff wages for the whole month. We'll click on this bottom cell down here, and we'll click on this auto sum, and it will highlight all of the figures within that range of this B column, and we hit the enter key or click this green button here, and that will give us a grand total. And then we can do the same for fuel costs. So we can quickly get grand totals for what we've spent for the whole year. Here you can see what we spent for this particular year. We can even make these bold just to highlight them. So we can see what we spent on wages, fuel costs, telephone costs and internet costs for the whole year range down here. So that's quite easy to quickly add up these figures without having to add them manually one by one. That's a nice feature of Open Office. And we may also want to add up our monthly costs so we can see roughly what we spent every month and how that fluctuated for every month. So I'm clicking on this cell here, left clicking, I'm highlighting the whole row and then using the auto sum so we can see how much we spent on a given month. So I'm just going to finish this quickly. You may have had more columns in here with other figures in there, but we can see now our grand totals for every single month. And then in this box here, we can do a grand total for the whole year. So we can do this in two ways. We can either, the easiest way to do it is just to auto sum this whole section here. So we can see it's 26,000. That's our grand total for the whole year. So within a few minutes we've got all the months in there, we've got all of our figures, and we managed to calculate our grand totals, our totals for staff wages for the year and our telephone and so forth, and we've got our grand totals for the month. Nice and quick and easy way to generate data for our running costs for the year. So that was quick and simple, and we could even convert this into a graph or a chart or something along these lines, so we could see the data in another view, and that would be nice to see, a different way of looking at the data. But we'll leave that for another tutorial. So this is a quick demo on how to use auto filters to quickly generate subtotals for different columns, whether it's a vertical column or a horizontal column. So I hope that makes sense, and I look forward to seeing you on the next tutorial.